Good evening. England and Scotland's hotly anticipated group game at the European Championship has ended in a draw. Both sides had their chances on the night but were unable to take what would have been a famous win. Fans had gathered throughout the day, with thousands of Scots travelling to London, many without tickets, in high spirits. The result leaves both sides still able to qualify for the next round. Well, let's go live to Wembley and the very latest from our sports editor, Dan Rowan. Dan.
Sophie, a 149-year-old rivalry was about to be renewed. For just the second time in a major tournament, England and Scotland, those two arch rivals, would meet 25 years after that iconic match here at Wembley at Euro 96. But England, despite being favourites at times, were outplayed, and amid an atmosphere that stirred the blood, despite Wembley being just a quarter full, it's Scotland, I think, who will go home by far the happier.
No older rivalry and no greater stage. A quarter of a century had passed since Wembley hosted the only previous meeting between these two teams at a major tournament, one of England's most memorable victories. But the visitors have enjoyed success of their own here. A night of history and hope lay ahead.
I think we've got a really good chance here. We've got a good squad, good line-up. Anything can happen. England always underestimate us.
We've been written off.
We've got nothing to lose here, so let's do it.
I'm nervous. I can see Scotland's getting a goal, and it makes me a bit nervy. But I think we'll come through. We'll get what we need.
Wembley was no place for the faint-hearted. Although a moment of solidarity quickly followed, Scotland joining their rivals in taking the knee. They may have been underdogs, but it was the visitors who threatened first. Che Adams with the early chance. In a lively opening period, John Stone's towering header then coming agonisingly close to putting England ahead. So much for predictions, this could be cagey. Jordan Pickford forced into a great save by Stephen O'Donnell. Hard to believe 40 places separate these teams in the world rankings. With England needing more energy after the restart, Mason Mount tried to provide it. This, their first shot on target. And minutes later, captain Harry Kane was also withdrawn after another below-par performance. But it was Scotland who looked more likely to score. Adams again going close. Goalless draw the final result, but a point Scotland will be proud of. Dan Rowan, BBC News, Wembley.
And let's get more now from Dan. What does this mean for both sides then in the tournament?
Well, despite a relatively disappointing performance by England, that was a point that takes them a step closer to qualification for the knockout stages. Sophie, had they won, it would have been guaranteed that they'd have been through to that second round, but because it's a goalless draw, they will have to now hope for another point at least against the Czech Republic on Tuesday night, while Scotland play Croatia. And they will need a win if they are to get through to the second round for the first time in their history. This, of course, is their first major tournament for 23 years. So the group is still open. Bear in mind that just 3 years ago, England made the World Cup semi-final. So they will have been expecting, I think, many of their fans to have beaten a side. Let's not forget that he's ranked 40 places below them in the world rankings, especially given the impressive nature of their performance against Croatia in their opening match here last weekend, especially when you consider the fact that Scotland struggled, didn't they, against the Czech Republic, being beaten 2-0. But I think the manager, Steve Clarke's done a fantastic job, and he deserves all the credit for getting his players back. I thought the changes he made all worked. 4 changes he made coming into this match, the likes of Gilmour and Tiernan and Kearney, they all played exceptionally well, and they did their country proud. And whatever happens now, I think this is a result that Scotland in the future and their fans, who of course came here, only around 3,000 got into Wembley, but thousands more have been here in London for an occasion that they really handled, you have to say, better than England.
Dan Rowan at Wembley, thank you. Well, it was a night of contrasting emotions for England and Scotland fans. Let's get the latest now from Glasgow. Our correspondent Lorna Gordon is there. Lorna.
Yes, what a result for Scotland at the end of that game. This
fan zone erupted with joy. 3,000 Scotland fans very, very happy at this result. The police in the last few minutes have swept the area, cleared the fans out, but I think the celebrations here will continue well into the night. And what a party! For the Tartan Army, games don't get much bigger than this. Thousands travelled to London, the city's mayor asking them to stay away if they didn't have tickets or a safe place to watch the game.
We've done it legally. We followed the rules.
20,000 people came down.
We've stayed in the pubs.
Yeah, England fans, the pubs, the restaurants, everywhere have been absolutely fantastic. Amazing.
And so far it has been mostly good-natured. An early flashpoint, smoke bombs thrown by opposing England fans, quickly calmed by police. For those that didn't travel, no less passion and hope.
Do us proud, boys. We're here for you. You being there for us. Come on! Yes!
3,000 supporters there for the team in the football fan zone in Glasgow.
All you need is hope, all you need is heart. Who cares about the stats? Who cares about the price of players? We're here. What is that, 23, 24 years? We're here, that's all that counts. See if we beat the English.
Nothing's coming home. It's coming tonight. Here we are.
Scotland's best chance in the first half fell to O'Donnell, but it was well saved by Pickford. Scotland went close again early in the second through Dykes. His shot cleared off the line. The tension almost unbearable for the fans as this historic game drew to its close. This oldest of footballing rivalries didn't disappoint. A nation proud that its team made it this far.
Top of the world. Brilliant. Come on, Scotland. We can do this Tuesday night now. We're going to do it. 3 points against Croatia, and we're in the last 16. Come on, Scotland! Nice one.
Lorna Gordon, BBC News, Glasgow.
England fans expected tonight. Second best was not an option. Legends of Euros past grew up here.
No, for me, 3-4-0. 3-4-0 easy.
England are that good and Scotland are that bad?
Scotland are that bad, England are that good, yeah, easy.
I think it'll be a very slow game, to be honest, but yeah, we'll come out on top.
2-1 England. Definitely 2-1 England.
3-0. 2-0.
3-0. Way aye.
After months of COVID restrictions, these fan zones have been given the green light. It's the sort of atmosphere people have missed and are loving being part of again.
It's amazing to be in this atmosphere, and be out of the house, be with my friends, and it's social distance, it's great, and we're safe, and it's just, the atmosphere is amazing.
Even those getting married today had the match built into their plans, for better or worse.
Well, we're going to have a meal and all that, and then we're going for the air. We're going to see where the night goes with a few drinks and all that, and see hopefully England will win.
So the football match is definitely on the agenda?
Oh yes, definitely.
Do you mind?
Well, haven't got a lot of choice.
At kick-off there were high hopes, but a goalless first half wasn't quite to plan, although they were still optimistic at half-time.
It's been a pretty even contest in the first half, but I think as the game wears on, our quality will show, so I'm still confident that England will win the game.
I feel like we're playing okay, there is room for improvement. If John Stones put that header away, then it'd be a different game.
But it wasn't to be. The belief of the fans didn't transfer to the team on the pitch. Still, everyone had the sort of big night out they hadn't had for a long time.
I think it's fair to say that England fans, broadly speaking, are underwhelmed with what happened this evening. They certainly expected a lot more. They, of course, as you heard there, expected some goals. However, what you have had this evening is quite a big outdoor event that we haven't seen for many months here in the UK. And I think, broadly speaking, people really did have a good evening. They did enjoy it. They're still in good spirits, even after a 0-0 draw. So they've had a good time at the very least, although they just hoped that England would actually get a win on the pitch. Wasn't to be. Have to move on to the next game, Sophie.
Danny Savage, thank you.